got at Joann's sale and with my coupon was this Embellish knit. It's a little Icord maker. Basically, it's just another knitting machine, just a little bitty one with 4 needles in there. So I still got the yarn attached because I'm going to make it longer. And I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. But I have to say it was kind of tricky. I did make this. This is the yarn that came with it. And they say not to use worsted. But this is pretty much the same size as a lot of the worsted that I have. So works fine. So this is, what kind of yarn is this? Lion Brand. I seem to really favor Lion Brand, don't I? I do love it. This is Pound of Love. And it calls itself a number 4 worsted, doesn't it? Yeah. So it works just fine. Now, I will tell you that I was very frustrated with it for a little while. I couldn't get it to work. But what I've discovered is that you really need to go slowly for those first, I'd say at least 10 rounds using the weight. It has a little, it looks like a, I did bring it out here, sorry, but it looks like a clothespin, but it's a weight, and you clip it on the bottom and it helps to pull the cord down through, which I was using, but I think after the 1 or 2 casts on, I'm thinking Addie, and I'm going woo, 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 and then it get caught on the outside. I'll, around this outside part, you'd see it instead of having it go down into the middle. And I was really getting frustrated. I tried probably 6 different yarns, blaming the yarns of course, but I think it was totally user error because obviously it's working well right now. So what to do with it, I have no earthly idea yet. Although there's some things swimming in my head or I wouldn't have bought it because y'all know how cheap I am. But I don't know. It's just part of my learning process. You know me. I've got to learn. But it really makes a nice little Icord. So that's good. Now, how did I get so much stuff done? Well, this weekend I was left alone. The boys went up to Ole Miss because Maggie had a formal on Friday night, and the only reason I even bother to go up there is so I can see my child, and she didn't have a whole lot of time for us. So I stayed home, me, the dog, and the cats, and it was a very wonderful rest, and I played with yarn. Now, here is something else that I did. I had seen these braided scarves, and I made 3 strands with Baby Sport white on the small Addie Professional. And I did them 7 feet long, and then when you braid them it comes out, you know, less than that. And then I sewed them together in a very poor fashion. But that's what I'm kind of thinking, make it an I-cord and wrapping it around so that it actually looks like an embellishment of some sort. Not the blue, but another color. But my intent was to wear it like this, and instead I look like I have a spa towel around my neck, like I just finished working out. Not ready to give up on it yet, but not really feeling it. So still, I think of things, whenever I do something like this, I think of it as a learning process, not a failure. What was it? Thomas Edison said something along those lines. I have not failed 1,000 times. I have learned 999 ways that don't work. So you think about it that way. And then, of course, you must do a Christmas character scarf. And I did a Nutcracker. Can you see him? Basically, he's the same old thing that I've been doing, which is just blocks of color, and then I decorated them. Only this time he got googly eyes, and the way, I couldn't find the shank googly eyes that you sew on the back in the small size, so what I did was sew on a couple of buttons and just glued them on. Let's see if you can see. I just glued it on there with some jewelry glue, and I hope that works. So, and then for his double-breasted coat, I just used some tiny little buttons. The reason I chose to do fringe at the bottom was because that's supposed to be reminiscent of an epaulette that you see on a fancy dress uniform. And I just did embroidery on the top up here. It's little French knots. Don't ask for a tutorial on French knots and embroidery because I don't know what I'm doing, and these are not necessarily very good. I mean, they'll do fine, but you need to probably look that up somewhere else. I'm also not pleased with the fact that this is not neat looking. I chose to put this part in the front because I was hoping it would be a nice straight line of these things, and they just don't stay put. I don't know. If I could knit, I probably would have knit a gold Icord along the bottom and left it at that. Usually epaulettes are very expensive fringe with a braiding, and then the fringe comes down off of there. But of course you're not going to do this for a play scarf, you know, a little child scarf or whatever. Or, I mean, a grown-up can wear this too, but it's still a casual look. It's just not something you're going to want to spend your money to put expensive bullion fringe or anything like that on the bottom. It's just a casual play thing. So I also toyed with the idea of putting hair on the sides of its head, coming off like that. But I tell you what, this one was labor intensive because you have to do all of this, and at first glance you think, oh, no big deal for people who know what they're doing. But me, I had to do it, and then ooh, that didn't look right, rip it out, try it again, those are too wide, those are too narrow, you know, so whatever. But there he is, which is pretty cute. Now I used mostly red heart for this, so what I did, because you know I'm not fond of red heart without washing, is I did all the color blocking first and washed it, and then I went back and put on the embellishments. So, but I still think this will wash just fine, but for me, I just felt that's the way I wanted to do it. And now we have another crafter in the family. Thomas got grounded, so he did try to make restitution for his errant ways, and so as a reward and a praise for that, I bought him a rubber band making kit, a rainbow loom. Actually, this was from Joann's, and it was a different brand, but the point is the same. He loves it, and he has been so busy, and I forgot to bring out my bracelet. Let me go get it. It's this. And I will warn you that this, you can't use your Joann coupon for this loom. And actually, the friends and family coupon, 25% off your total purchase, I think that's over with now, I'm not sure. But here is my bracelet that he made for me. Isn't that pretty neat with the 3 columns? I had not seen that. He had a million that other people had made him, and he was wearing 2 together as a necklace and all kinds of real fashion statements. But can you see the different colors in that? It looks like it's coming out all blue, but there's actually 3 different colors in there. Looks kind of like a waterfall color. But we've had a good time, and of course he looked at YouTube when he got home and found all these other types of designs that he wants to do. But it's pretty cute. It's a really fun little activity. Update on the mouse toy. The cats have discovered it, and they do like it, and as I had responded to several people who said use catnip, I had put catnip in it to begin with and sprayed it with this catnip spray, and they were just not impressed with my mouse. And then finally I kept throwing it at them a couple of times, and they began to catch on. So yes, success for me. Okay, I want to do 2 shout outs for yarn lovers that I think that you'll really, really love. These people are funny, but in different ways too. They are also very happy and pleasant and a joy to watch. And one of them, oh, and they're both bargain shoppers, which, you know, is one of my favorite things in the world. But the first one is Cheryl, and she is Cam Cab 147. And she's from the UK, and of course we Americans, we all get excited because we love to hear the UK people talking. But Cheryl is adorable, and she's extremely talented. She has exquisite tastes. I like the patterns that she picks out, and she has recently done, in her most recent video, she had gotten some new yarn, and whew, some of it was really pretty, and every bit of it was on sale or marked down or whatever, and that's always even more exciting, if you know what I mean. But she also has a special needs son that she described for the first time that I heard her describe him, and he sounds like an absolute treasure. And I don't know if I ever told y'all, I have a niece with Down syndrome, and we do a lot of work with Mustard Seed, the home where she lives, and she's 30-something. But that, of course, is very close to my heart as well, so that's one thing. Then the other one is Marilyn Lacey, and my Addie friends are going to love Marilyn. Make sure you subscribe to her. Marilyn she's the light, she's just a light in a dark room. When she smiles, she just lights up the screen, and she's so precious. And of course, she does wonderful work and finds some really good prices, which really makes me laugh, and because that's my favorite thing in the world. But speaking of laughing, she laughs at herself just like I do. Well, actually, Cheryl does too, for that matter. So I guess that's why we're all drawn to each other. So go watch Cheryl and Marilyn, and y'all have a great day.